As I was growing up, I always dreamed big. But I grew up in a tiny country with a tiny population, and while internally I was screaming for more, I was scared to step out of my tiny bubble. I studied French because my parents told me to, even though I hated it. I spent most of my time with my nose stuck in books because I was too shy and I wanted to avoid people as much as possible. I had no interest in romantic relationships because I felt intimidated by the idea of trusting someone so much. I went to a university I hated and studied for a degree I wasn't actually interested in because I wanted to do what was expected of me. Until I couldn't take it anymore. Psychology defines the comfort zone as a psychological state in which people feel at ease and as if they're in control of their environment. Inside the comfort zone, you're free of anxiety and stress, and you only do things you're familiar with. Outside the comfort zone are new experiences, challenges, and knowledge, things that might cause stress and anxiety. According to psychologists Robert Yerkes and John Dodson, there's a relationship between pressure and performance. The Yerkes-Dodson law proposes that people reach their peak level of performance with an intermediate level of stress. Think of your comfort zone as a muscle. The more you work out and feed it with proper food, the bigger and stronger it gets. But when you stop, slowly, you start losing the muscle you've gained. It atrophies. What is the effect your comfort zone has on your well-being and the way you live your life? Is comfort really easy, or is it actually making your life harder? What is sitting on your phone for hours and scrolling through TikTok doing for you, apart from providing you with non-stop dopamine boosts? There are never-ending questions we should be asking ourselves if we want to keep moving. But quite often, even if we ask ourselves these questions that are supposed to help us, we find them bothersome when we don't answer them, because answering them is uncomfortable. We are constantly pursuing comfort and pleasure, but if we keep doing the same things, they become harder and harder to attain. Small comfort zones are why a lot of people feel stuck in life, like life is boring. We have to push ourselves, even if it doesn't feel good, because in the long run it will feel good, it will feel better. Your comfort zone can expand, but you have to put in the effort. It's really easy to stop when you're feeling tired, to put off doing what you have to do because you don't feel like it. We can always think of excuses not to do something that we find uncomfortable. But when we are doing something we do find comfortable, like sleeping, eating, or for some drinking, it's hard to stop when you've actually had enough. We build routines, and then we tell ourselves we can't do something unless we've done our routine. Wake up at 7, shower, skincare, coffee, news, emails, work. Okay, good. But have you had 8 hours of sleep, or did you go to bed late? Is smoking a cigarette while having your morning coffee a part of your routine? Not everything in your comfort zone is good for you, even if you believe it is. Marcus Aurelius very wisely said, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm? But it's nicer here." So you were born to feel nice? Instead of doing things and experiencing them. Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being. Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? But we have to sleep sometime. Agreed. But nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. And you are over the limit. You've had more than enough of that, but not of working. There, you are still below your quota. You don't love yourself enough, or you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. Getting out of my comfort zone started with dancing. I used to be so shy and introverted. I only cared about reading books and playing video games. But I also loved dancing. I used it as a way to express myself and escape from reality, but I was too shy and self-conscious to do it in front of people. However, when I discovered K-pop, there was something about it that made me want to connect with other people. And it pushed me to look for people who shared the same interests as me. So I started engaging in a lot of online conversations, and it was around the time that the K-pop community in Bulgaria was forming. I started attending little group meetings and just meeting people. And suddenly I found myself in a new comfort zone, and I was surrounded by people who shared the same interests as me. And I started making friends, and that's how I found a way to stop being scared of dancing in front of people. Becoming a part of this community and joining a dance team and dancing in front of tens, then hundreds, then thousands of people was a huge character development for me. And I learned how amazing it feels to know there are people that trust you to do well, to teach them, to lead them. How incredible it is to feel the support of the people from your team, of the people watching you. And one of the reasons I truly loved performing on stage with my teams was knowing that they were right there next to me, and I never felt alone. But if I had never pushed myself to leave my books at home and go out to meet these strangers and just talk to them, that wouldn't have happened. And I honestly believe this experience is what gave me the confidence to later on drop out of university when I decided I wasn't studying the right degree at the right place. To move to the UK, to study in Japan, to dance in front of 30,000 people at my favorite group's concert. It simply set a precedent. Now, I'm a very risk-averse person and a homebody, but throughout the years, I have made the conscious effort to subject myself to discomfort. And you know what? I'm happy. I graduated with a politics degree, I'm a law student, I started a YouTube channel, and I've been in a relationship for more than 10 years. And even when times are tough, when I ask myself if I regret any of the decisions I've made, and if I'm actually happy, my answer always is that I wouldn't change a thing and I am happy. Because if I hadn't pushed my comfort zone further and further, then I never would have met the amazing people I've met and experienced so much out of life. And my only wish is that I continue pushing and expanding and learning and living. And my biggest takeaway from all of this is that you shouldn't make decisions based on your comfort zone, but you should make them based on what your goals are and what will be truly good for you in the long run. I believe it's about making the conscious decision to take control of the aspects of your life that you actually have control over, and pushing and expanding the things you can control that will have a positive effect on your life and the lives of the ones you care about. Okay, I shall stop being preachy and sentimental now. I hope you got something useful out of this video. This was part 2 of a life-related video series I'm making. As I mentioned in the first one, I don't know when the next one is going to be uploaded, as these take a considerable amount of time to make. But if you'd like to see what's next in these life-related, life-navigating videos, then just click the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. If anyone watching this knows how to make this stop from happening without completely changing the light, please let me know. Thank you.